never change.
Hey, everybody, an old man's talking.
Grandpa's the name. Did you know this tree dates back to frontier times?
Wow.
Shut up!
Welcome back. This is Chris. This is your host, Chris. Welcoming you guys back to the Gyatt FORTNITE podcast. So happy to have you guys back checking in with me on episode number 2. This episode will be titled Back in the Days, because so much is about to change. You know, on this podcast, this is where I'm boldly going to make the prediction that wearing OG skins in the future will radically help you get laid. So shout out to us remixing. This new news is amazing. Technically, someone else might already have a FORTNITE podcast. But in the spirit of FORTNITE, I'm claiming this space like I just dropped on 2 blue chests outside Pleasant Park. This is absolutely crazy, though. Us FORTNITE players are going to talk about how absolutely great the past was in 20 years from now. That's why I included that clip in the beginning. We're going to talk about how we just had Battle Royale, Zero Build, and a new remix of an old favorite. FORTNITE is about to massively change again. This is the days of the pork fried rice. You remember when your parents would call, your mom would call and order some Chinese food, and that pork fried rice was just so fulfilling? I'm talking back in those days. This is the days when everything was great. We're gonna remember how easy FORTNITE was. And maybe that will be how it's like for us in the future. You know, we have FORTNITE Remix. We have a rave leader, Marshmallow skin, that just got leaked. That's coming out. We have a music-themed season idea that seems to be based on to escape out of this and make Jonesy and Peely central characters again. Okay, so we are going to open up speculating, because this opens up a new can of beans. And we open up with speculation. All right. So there's a lot that we could speculate on now that it's heading towards the end of the season. And the following is just a couple of speculations that I've decided pretty much there's so much that hasn't been covered. I don't know how they're actually going to end this season, but, you know, let's start with possibly the return of Galactus. All right, so Doom is running the show right now. He's still probably somewhere within the Marvel Universe. But what if that's just the beginning? Okay. We've seen Galactus before. He's literally the devourer of worlds. Okay. What if all this Doom drama is just a distraction for the big guy's second coming? That's right. I mean, there's no way Epic can keep Galactus on the sidelines forever, right? Maybe the cosmic threat will resurface in a pretty big way. The next thing I'd like to talk about is a possible villainous takeover, or maybe even a civil war. You know, FORTNITE has been all about crossovers, and Doom's invasion has showed us that villains don't like to play nice. Okay? We have to remember exactly who hired Dr. Doom in the first place. And that person was the Ageless One, otherwise known as Gino. Okay? What if the next chapter focuses on a full-blown villain civil war? Imagine Doom, Galactus, or the Ageless One, and Gino possibly, fighting for control of the island. Or even crazier, what if the heroes and villains have to form an unlikely alliance to protect their realities? Could this be setting up the stage for Fortnite's very own Secret Wars? And my third speculation, Fortnite Survival. That's right. You heard it here. Fortnite Survival. A possible new mode that could possibly come out sometime in the near future, maybe even in December, okay? We're going to speculate on this just for a second. I feel that it could be a much possible version that's deeply based in Battle Royale with its roots there, but we're making things different with how characters function and with map destruction and rebirth, possible prone positioning, all right? Now hear me out right now. Maybe even using a shovel with different rarity to dig holes in the ground for surprise ambushes. Or something along the same vein as a beefier Minecraft in first-person mode, okay? And that's what I'm thinking about. I'm thinking about that what if Chapter 6 starts with a total reset of the island, with Doom causing chaos and reality bending all over the place. The map itself could face catastrophic destruction. That could lead to a brand new island being born from the ashes, a totally new fresh start, new POIs, new mechanics, and maybe even that survivor mode twist that I told you guys just about right now. All right, so I'm going to talk about pickups right now, okay? Because I've bought so many skins lately. It's almost like a situation where it's like you have like a really huge extended family and they are always over, that type of thing. I just don't know who to play with lately. I've picked up Shaq, Spider-Woman, the Disney villains. Shout out Cruella, Edward Scissorhands. Had to double back for Goldie. She's a pretty old skin. I think she might be Chapter 2. Went back for Pumpkin King and Sally. And shout out to Fortnite just remixing this Princess Lexa skin that just turned into Lexa Hexbringer. As you guys know, she used to be Princess Lexa. She's from Chapter 4, Season 3. She plays and walks like a Street Fighter character, or even like Tekken. It's just something about the skins. About that particular skin, I just love it. It's a great low-key sweat skin, and it's actually one of my favorite skins right now at the moment. Like seriously. Let me see what else. Our locker is literally a museum in here. I have so many skins. I probably have at least over 600 skins right now. Shout out to all my OG Black Knights who've been playing since the beginning. That's what makes Fortnite great. It's you guys. It's this whole melange, if you really think about it. This combination of old and new. And there's a lot of takeaways from that in real life as well. Also, before we forget, with all this Marvel stuff, Epic, if you happen to be listening, we need to come out with a Kang the Conqueror skin. Seriously. Okay? And now that we have Chapter 2 Remix coming, can we get those Street Fighter characters back as well? The last Street Fighter skin came out in Chapter 3, Season 2. Okay, that was Blanca and Sakura. The first one that came out was in Chapter 2, Season 5. That was Ryu and Chun-Li. And then chapter 2, season 7 was Gal and Cammy. All right. So, Fortnite, thank you so much. I've spent so much of my bread, of my hard-earned money on your game, but I can't be any happier. In other news, okay, Epic just announced that they are installing air conditioning in Reload because it has so many sweats. I'm serious. Just to keep the matches cool. Shout out to TTV Need Dick and T.O. Ben 10 for chasing me from Pleasant Park all the way to Snobby Shores just to kill me. And they did. Really appreciate you guys. So yeah, guys, this feels like a full circle moment in my life. Okay. Every time I hit one of these, I'm going to make sure that in the podcast, I tell you about it. So I'm going to share a lot of my successes with you guys. Things that have happened to me since the podcast has formed, since I got the balls to press the record button. Okay. Pretty much, somehow I feel the world has given me a new lease on life after seeing me start enjoying this podcast with you guys. Not that I would be dying or anything pretty soon. That's not the reason why I said that that this is giving me like a new lease on life. It's just that, I don't usually get good things happening to me. And I guess sometimes you got to start those things and you got to feed it and you got to help grow that as well, okay? So, yeah, it's not like I would be dying or anything, but rather that it's actually seen me happy enough lately on many an occasion, thinking about the process of putting this together for you. I also have been enjoying all the DMs to my TikTok and to all you guys, okay? My friends, shout out my family, 100% for sticking with me with this. My one too many public conversations about Fortnite and the output of love that I usually get from talking about it in public spaces. It doesn't matter if I'm at the supermarket. It doesn't matter if I'm at work. I'll talk about Fortnite, and the minute I do, people just gravitate and tell me their amazing stories about why they like the game, or the typical question, the typical answer, or the typical question is, hey, so what's happening in the game now? Or, I really don't like this new update. It'll be one of those two. But I truly, truly, truly appreciate it, okay? I've realized, though, that there's a huge output of love because of me doing this. And that's a familiar energy, with a whole bunch of people, and we're talking about Fortnite. It feels so familiar. And it feels like sunshine. It feels very happy to hear people that are really interested in something that we, can take for granted, this amazing game, okay? And all of them are saying the same thing to me practically all the time. They're telling me, I'm glad you started this podcast. Partly because I'm going to talk about whatever the fuck I want to talk to you about, including Fortnite. So for you push pop, easy peasy people out there, this is what it means. It's sort of like Chun-Li having a third and final skin, possibly from this next chapter 2 remix. Okay, where she's showing her massive slit off the whole Chi Minh trail and landed right in the back of that tour bus, if you know what I'm saying. And also, it can feel like winning 5 back-to-back squad matches with some randoms you queued up with, and everyone's acting all normal while you're eating hot chips, crunching on the mic because you died and don't want nachos on your controller. All right? Copy? I told you it was going to be a wild ride. Okay. So I guess I'll tell you a bit about myself. I won't say my age, but I've I got a little bit of gray hairs. Okay. I love sneakers so much and the smell when they are brand new, and I don't really wear dress shoes. I love cooking. I hate seed oils like vegetable oil or corn oil. I've been in a coma for 2 weeks. I almost died once, and I'm a type 2 diabetic. While I don't subscribe towards any religion, I was raised Catholic, very spiritual, and we should definitely have Jesus in Fortnite sometime soon. I'm going on 30 years as a barber. Yeah, I cut hair. My next car that I want is a Santa Fe. I like those commercials a lot during football intermissions. By the way, Scott Hansen, you are loved, man. I love Red Zone. Okay. I love you. I watch and I love UFC. I love boxing. I think that Fight Night was one of the best games created. Shout out to Tank Davis as I rewatch a lot of his fights on YouTube. Okay. Speaking of YouTube, I'd love to have the podcast up on there in the next episode or so. I play fantasy football. I talk about it daily to anyone who will listen. Okay. I value people's opinions in this microwavable society. And my Mars is in Libra, so it's chess, never checkers with me. All right? All right. I call myself a multi-potentialite. Okay. And just hearing everything that I just described about myself, I'll give you the definition so you can kind of understand me. Okay. A multi-potentiality is an educational and psychological term referring to the ability of a person, particularly one of strong intellectual or artistic curiosity, to excel in two or more different fields. It could also refer to an individual whose interests span multiple fields or areas, rather than being strong in just one. Such traits are called multipotentialities. Okay? While multipotentialites has been suggested as a name for person or persons who wrestle with these issues. By contrast, all right, those whose interests lie mostly within a single field are called specialists. Okay, so for you guys that I guess that are in medicine, maybe you're doctors, you specialize in medicine. I guess for police, they specialize in law enforcement. If you're a baker, maybe you specialize in pastries. With me, I have so many different areas and curiosities, especially artistic, in different areas. So I really have labeled myself accordingly as a multi-potentialite. It actually sounds good. It's very positive. The potentialities, it just sounds a little weird, but you know what? I'm going with it, okay? And seriously, one not need to be an expert in any particular field to be a multi-potentialite, okay? I appreciate interesting people, okay? And one such person who's very interesting to me right now, still, after practically a year and some change later, is Donald Mustard, the co-creator and lore master of Fortnite, until he resigned last year in September 2023. Not much can be found about him online, neither on Wikipedia. So my goal is to have him on the show one day. It's time to start connecting the dots. And no, I'm not going to put this behind a Patreon episode, or will I put this anywhere where there has to be some sort of form of logging in or giving me something just so you could read or hear this podcast interview. I don't want subscribers. I just want this information out. I think Donald is a multi-potentialite himself, and he's so interested in so many different things. Okay, posted on his timeline, literally almost you could say about a day or two before I'm posting this podcast, on October 21st of 2024 at 6:14 p.m. Okay, posted on his timeline. He has a picture that gave a little bit of OGs or people in Fortnite just a little bit of hope. And pictured next to Donald Mustard was Josh Brolin, Robert Downey Jr., and the Russo brothers. And now we're not idiots. We know exactly what Robert Downey Jr. is going to be. He's going to be Doom, or a remix version of Doom. We also know that Thanos is going to come back. If you've seen the God Emperor Doom rip out Thanos' spine in the comics, that comic panel is on TikTok. Practically anywhere where there's any sort of comic media, you will find that. Okay. For those that don't know exactly what I'm talking about, Doom becomes God Emperor Doom. Thanos tries to challenge him. He walks up to Doom and he rips through Thanos' chest and takes out his whole entire spine. Gone in one panel in the comic. Okay. And while I wish that all these people in the picture, I wish they had on a fiendishly amazing back bling and all pickaxes in hand, possibly maybe even teasing 5-man squads for Fortnite, because there was 5 of them in the picture. We could always wish. That didn't happen though. But there's much to speculate, and I should say it was jaw-dropping to see that in the least. Okay? Donald created the 0 point. The concept of a 0 point can be thought of as the center or origin of all things. Okay? A kind of cosmic focal point where energy, reality, or existence itself converges. It's often referred to in science fiction and theoretical physics as a place of limitless potential or creation. In some cases, it represents the beginning or source of everything, sometimes containing vast amounts of untapped energy. All right? In Fortnite, the 0 point is a literal and metaphysical force. It's the mysterious energy source at the center of the island storyline that has shaped the game's history across chapters. The 0 point is seen as the nexus of all realities, controlling the fabric of the Fortnite multiverse. Whenever major events or cataclysms occur in Fortnite, the 0 point is usually gonna be involved, either being manipulated, disrupted, or hidden. For instance, it was central to the events in the end event that closed Chapter 1, and it reappears throughout different chapters as both a source of conflict and a tool for reshaping the Fortnite universe. Now, if we relate this back to Fortnite gameplay, the 0 point isn't just about lore. It represents the unpredictable nature of Fortnite itself. The island is always changing. The rules are in flux, and the reality you're fighting in can literally bend, break, or reset because it's the 0 point. This constant shifting, it keeps players on their toes, providing an unpredictable landscape in which new challenges, crossovers, and characters are always entering the fray. And much like how the 0 point connects and draws in characters from different universes. I love Fortnite. If there's something that doesn't click, you're going to hear me talk about it on this podcast. All right? I'm not going to always agree with everything, But then again, I'm not going to complain about something that I genuinely do on a day-to-day basis. I've realized in Fortnite, if you want to get good, you got to put that time in. You got to make smarter decisions. Whether you're playing solos, duos, trios, or squads, you just have to make better decisions. Sometimes making a better decision can help you out better in the long run, especially if your aim is just terrible, okay? But really, I really don't like talking about negative things. You know, my attention span can be extremely short. I don't like sticking to tearing something down. And while I've been playing way more reload than regular zero build, probably due to so many mobility changes, I still feel comfortable enough to load up a game of solo zero builds and enjoy the Halloween content that they just hit out of the park. I was getting tired of Reckless Railways. So I'm so happy to see it turn into a new destination, Freaky Fields. That chainsaw is bananas, isn't it? I've been queuing up some games just to see if it hits my loot rotation. I picked up Lexa Hexbringer, who used to be a princess, Lexa, back in the older chapter. Now she's a witch. That really has been my current sweat skin. I love it, like I told you guys before. I don't know if it's in the item shop, but make sure that you pick it up. It just looks crazy when you're eliminating people with it on. It's just something about the skin. I don't know. The Disney villains I had to pick up too, and I've been using the Cruella skin the most. Okay, I picked up the Spider-Woman, the Alex Voss version of the skin that he most famously painted. I'm not too happy with the way she looks. Okay, I'll be honest. She could have been more hotter, but I appreciate how comic accurate it actually is. As a side note, she actually became Spider-Woman before Peter Parker ever became Spider-Man. And if you want to wiki that, then go and get your ass right on the internet and type it up your damn self and look it up, okay? I kind of knew heading into the season I was going to spend a lot of money on skins because of the Marvel season. So it was expected. There's joy in every journey in life. And the metaverse that is Fortnite, I'm sure, has an end game that will be electric. And it's only appropriate to say it will be nothing less than historic. Fortnite will never end. You know, so other than that, my amazing Mets unfortunately got eliminated by Dodgers in Game 6. I was pushing for them, you know, in the NLCS. Okay. So I guess moving forward, you know, shout out to the Yankees. You know, that hat is just famous wherever you go in the world. You could be in China and somebody's already looking at you and they're like, hey, that guy's got to be from America. Let's be serious too. We need the Major League Baseball Fortnite skins already. Okay. Let's make that happen. Okay. And, you know, I'm never going to stop. I'm never going to stop. I'm just never going to stop. No Diddy. And I'll be honest with you. One of my goals is to have a Fortnite skin for me and my son that plays. And I won't stop till I get one. I will not stop. I'm going to be here. You know, I'm about to sign off on this podcast. It's running a little under than what I normally thought that it was going to run. But I just saw a TikTok that said, funny enough, when we had the most friends, we were the worst version of ourselves. And, you know, that is extremely, extremely loud. That's as loud as resin somebody right outside the storm, and you get their boot card, and it's maybe like 4 teams left or 5 teams left. Like, somebody's going to push you. But you know what? What I will tell you is Chapter 2, this remix OG season, is coming back. So gather your friends and become the worst version of yourself. Serious. You're going to run into everybody that you haven't seen in some time. So just become the worst version of yourself. I appreciate you guys. I appreciate all you guys. I love you guys. And you guys are the best. What can I say? Hey, guys. So I want to thank you guys again for tuning in to the second episode of the Gyatt Fortnite podcast. And next week we got a lot to talk about. There's going to be a lead up to the event that you guys are probably going to hear about possibly on Tuesday when weeklies reset. We may get a couple new story challenges as well. And I'm so looking forward to next week, all the speculation. I'll be back with another forecast for you on this Fortnite podcast next week. And so then I want everybody to just enjoy yourself and have a great rest of the week. By the way, my Cash App is the Cash App sign, the $, Chris, CHRIS, Freshier, FRESHIER. If you'd like to support the podcast, I'd appreciate that. Maybe you could buy me a coffee. I drink a lot of coffee. And yeah, having yourself an amazing week. Get that dub, and I'll see you guys soon next week. Peace.